Good evening to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is a little complicated, not easy to understand, because it deals with a theme related to democracy, how it is being implemented, how it is being practiced, and also some important words are there. You have to know the meanings only, then you can understand. Let us start the session with the question, what is this editorial about? The editorial is about the erosion. Erosion means what? One meaning removing the top layer, and second meaning slowly something disappears. We use the word erosion. Erosion of what? Deliberative democracy in India. There is one word here, deliberative. Generally, we come across the word deliberate. Someone has done something deliberately or intentionally. Deliberately means intentionally or openly. But in this context, deliberative, a different word altogether, it means based on discussions. Deliberative democracy in India, erosion of deliberative democracy in India, citing recent events such as a security breach. We got all these words many a time in Parliament related to unemployment. The editorial criticizes the government's response, including the suspension of numerous opposition members of parliament, the suspension of numerous opposition members, and points out a pattern of stifling, means making someone get suffocated, debate and legislative processes. The editorial expresses concern about the negative impact on democratic principles, both nationally and internationally, with references to assessments labeling India as an electoral autocracy and partially free, not completely free, and autocrat means a dictator. Let us go to the tone of the editorial because it is something, it talks about something that has been going against democracy and deliberations. The tone of the editorial appears critical and concerned, obviously. The editorial expresses deep concern over the government's actions and its disregard, no respect for the deliberative democracy in India. This is the tone of the editorial. Let us go to the editorial and see what is there to learn. And there are a lot of words. Legislative decline. We got the word decline many a time. And those students who actively participate, you know the meaning, you write. That will help in the long run. You can consolidate. Decline means go down in number, quality. The numbers are declining, the standards are declining, the quality is declining. And in this context, what is declining? Legislative decline on government's actions and a disregard for deliberative democracy. This is the main idea, main theme. Something is going wrong. What is going wrong? Deliberative democracy is being stifled or stifled on government's actions and a disregard, no respect for deliberative democracy. So, what is this? The word deliberative, involving careful thought and discussion when making decisions. You want to take a decision, you want to make a decision, you try to involve others, you have a discussion, you think deeply. Then we use the word deliberation, deliberative, a different meaning altogether. Altogether, you got to be a little careful. But what is the main idea of this editorial? Denial of legislative debate furthers democratic backsliding in India. There's one word we have got for the first time, backsliding. Backslide is a verb to return to old, often bad habits or to a worse condition. You return to old bad habits or worse condition. We use the word backsliding. You can guess the meaning based on the word backsliding. Denial of legislative debate. So, what is being denied here? Legislative debate. It furthers, means deepens, or takes to a different level. Democratic backsliding in India. Furthers what? Democratic backsliding in India. Both the security breach, now it has to have a stimulus. Based on a stimulus, something happened, and based on that, the editorial has taken a stand and written this article. What exactly happened and what has triggered to write this? What is a stimulus? Both the security breach means what? Violation of a particular contract or agreement, and another meaning, breach means crack. It goes with concrete structure. Both the security breach in parliament last week featuring a I'm sorry, theatrical, we have got for the first time an important word. What does it mean? You behave in such a way that people catch, they observe. You do it intentionally to catch someone's attention, behaving in an extreme way that is intended to attract attention rather than being sincere. So here, someone does something not sincerely, but with the intention of attracting attention. Both the security breach in Parliament last week, featuring a theatrical attempt by individuals to highlight an issue of public importance. What is that? Unemployment. And the union government's response have been deeply problematic, have been present perfect active voice, deeply problematic. Now, this sentence talks about two things. One is breach in parliament. Some four people, I suppose, entered the parliament and with canisters, and that is nothing but breach. And why did they do that? And it is an act of theatrical attempt. What does it mean? Just to catch the attention, not sincere. And why did they do that? To highlight a particular issue. What is the issue in hand? Public importance. What is that issue? Unemployment. And subsequent to that, and the union government's response have been, both the things have been deeply problematic. What is a problem? The government stymieing, an important word we have got for the first time. Stymie is a verb, stymieing in the ing form or present participle form. To prevent something from happening or someone from achieving a purpose, it has a negative connotation. You stop someone or something from what? Achieving a purpose. Then we use the word stymie. The government stymieing of any debate. In this context, the opposition wants a debate, the government stops. That is the context. Based on that, we use the word stymieing. The government stymieing of any debate over this issue in parliament, and the chair's recourse. Recourse is also an important word. What does it mean? It's a noun. Using something or someone as a way of getting help, especially in a difficult or dangerous situation. Here, the situation to have a debate, the government does not want to have the debate. Based on that, the chair's recourse to an unprecedented high number of suspensions. There's one word here. I'm sure you all know the word unprecedented, never happened before. High number of suspensions. Now, why is this article, why has it been written, this editorial? Never happened, unprecedented. What exactly that? About 92 members of parliament have been suspended. That's a record number. Unprecedented high number of suspensions of opposition legislators following their demand for a statement in the houses and a debate. The opposite, something happened in the parliament. What exactly happened? Some strangers entered the parliament and they used the canisters, and that is something not, that is nothing but breach. And based on that, obviously, the opposition wants a statement from the government and it wants to have a debate. But the government has not issued any statement based on this editorial, and they were not given a chance for debate. Following their demand for a statement in the houses and a debate, have been in line with its disregard for deliberative democracy. What is this editorial about? At the outset, I said this editorial is not easy to understand, not from a layman's point of view. You got to be a little, you should have a little intellectual caliber, and also you have to know the meanings of many words. Only then you can understand. When the government denies or the chair's recourse to suspension of this opposition legislators, a record number, what is the intention behind? What does it convey? What is the message? This has been in line with, and these two things have been in line with, means they follow a particular pattern, they go with a in tandem with. Very good, Pandu, I appreciate that. With what? It's the disregard, the government's disregard. Disregard means what? No respect. You don't respect someone, you don't give due respect, due importance. Disregard for what in this context? Deliberative democracy. The whole editorial is based on two words: deliberative democracy. Deliberations means what? Careful thought and discussion involving the ruling party as well as the opposition members. As many. Now, what exactly happened? Because they have been denied, what exactly happened? They must have protested. Based on that, the government did not issue a statement, and the opposition members were not allowed to have a debate. Obviously, based on that, what is the reaction? They must have protested. Based on that, as many as 78 opposition members of parliament were suspended on Monday. 14 more were suspended earlier. That comes to 92 in total, and nearly matching the 94 suspensions overall since 2014 prior to this session. So far, total how many? 2014, if you take prior to, an important expression. When you use comparative adjectives like senior, junior, anterior, posterior, superior, inferior, preferable, elder, prior, and the verb prefer, you have to use a preposition to. That's an important rule you have to recollect. As many as 78 opposition members of parliament were suspended on Monday. 14 more were suspended earlier. That comes to 92 in total, and nearly matching the 94 suspensions overall. I would like to underline the word overall since 2014, prior to this session. Obviously, that is a huge number. Unlike in the two Lok Sabhas, 2004 to 2014, when even ruling party legislators, including rebels, were suspended for unruliness, only opposition members have been subject to suspension, which includes those for far less severe offences since 2014. It talks about how many have been expelled or suspended. And there are two words over here. One is a rebel. I'm sure you all know. A person who is opposed to the political system in the country and tries to change it using force. And the second word, unruliness, the quality of being difficult to control. You try to control someone or a group of people, they don't listen to you. Then we say, usually it goes with unruly crowd, unruly mob, unruly group. These are the combinations. So it provides a statistical information what exactly happened from a particular date. The hallmark, we have got many a time. What does it mean? I appreciate all the students have been writing the words, synonyms, antonyms, and grammar related. Keep doing that. I really appreciate. And others have a look later. You can learn a lot from those comments. The hallmark. Hallmark means what a typical characteristic or feature of a person or thing. Usually something good. It has a positive connotation. And I'm sure you all know the word hallmark also goes with gold. Hallmark, gold related to show the standard. The hallmark of a functioning democracy, the characteristic feature of a functioning democracy is deliberation. Means what? Discussion, wherein elected legislators debate and discuss issues of public import or import. Means importance. Importance, you can also use the word, it is not import, regular import, it is import. Means what? Importance, public importance, and seek solutions to issues that affect citizens. Affect, again, you have to recollect. So basically, what happens here, democracy, known for debate and discussions, and the debate or the discussion has to take place in a particular house between the of the government members representing the government and the members of opposition parties. But that doesn't happen, obviously. It has to be questioned. A thorough deliberation involves not just televised speeches from Parliament, but also debates, the utilization of parliamentary and standing committees to delve into the issue, and for bills and legislation to be discussed threadbare before consideration. An important word, there are two important words over here. It's a lengthy sentence. First, I will tell the meanings of the words, then we'll go to the meaning of the sentence. Delve, an important word. What does it mean? To examine something in detail, trying to find information. Delve into a particular issue means you go deep into that, you try to find out. And here we have threadbare. Threadbare goes with argument, discussion, or something that is excuse. A threadbare excuse, argument, or idea is not strong and no longer persuades people because either it is old or has been used too much. To be discussed threadbare before consideration. In this context, it means something like dealing with the argument or the excuse, or not exactly excuse, argument or idea related to the incident. So, what does it mean, the sentence? A thorough deliberation involves, As I said, this is all about deliberation related to democracy, based on democracy. And what does it mean, this concept deliberation? A thorough deliberation involves not just televised speeches from parliament, it also involves debates, the utilization of parliamentary and standing committees to delve into the issue, go deep into the issue, and for bills and legislation to be discussed threadbare before consideration. As I said, it talks about the procedure, what has to be done, and what is going on right now. It is not going the right direction. Based on that, now it talks about what is going on right now, what is the present scenario. Instead, over the course of recent parliamentary sessions during the National Democratic Alliance's tenure we have got many a time, means what the time period. There have been multiple attempts of browbeating the opposition. That's an important word. Tenure, I'm sure you all know. Tenure means what? Tenure means the period, his tenure, the party's tenure, means the time they have been in power. And the National Democratic Alliance's tenure, during this tenure, there have been multiple attempts. Attempts plural noun, based on that there have been present perfect active voice, multiple attempts to browbeating, an important word, browbeating. What does it mean? Browbeating means to try to force someone to do something by threatening them or persuading them forcefully and unfairly. You force someone to do something either using force or in an unfair manner, that is known as browbeating. In this context, forcing the opposition, obviously. There have been multiple attempts at browbeating the opposition, getting bills passed without adequate discussion, disallowing amendments on merit, and underutilizing standing and parliamentary committees, while trying hard to play to the gallery. To play to the gallery means to impress someone or actually impress the audience. Play to the gallery to impress the audience. It talks about the various factors that have been stifling the democratic deliberations. One, inadequate, without adequate discussion, disallowing amendments on merit, underutilizing standing and parliamentary committees, while trying hard to play to the gallery. Legislative business and parliamentary work have been given short shrift. These two, one unit, remember. Shrift, one unit. I should have brought it in red. Legislative business and parliamentary work have been given present perfect passive voice. Short shrift means what? Treat without sympathy and give little attention, ignoring in a way. Little attention, not giving due respect. While theatrics, again we have got this word. What does it mean? Behavior that is used or intended to catch attention by legislators in both the Treasury and opposition benches. Treasury bank aspirants, I'm sure they all know what does it mean. The government department, usually it came from the UK and other countries, that is responsible for financial matters such as spending and tax. We use the term the Treasury. And one upmanship, we have got this for the first time. One upmanship means what? A situation in which someone does or says something in order to prove that they are better than someone else. There is a situation, in that situation, someone tries to dominate or says or does something to show that the person is better than others. Then we say one upmanship. And one upmanship through the use of suspensions. How do they show that? They resort to suspensions, have dominated proceedings. The sentence talks about what has been going on of late and how the proceedings have been going on, what has dominated the proceedings. Suspensions, obviously, that is a context. It is no wonder, an important expression, it is no wonder that such actions have compelled. Based on this, how did the world react? There are two sentences. It is no wonder that such actions have compelled global democracy reports. Compel, we have got many a time. What does it mean? Force someone. Compel global democracy reports by research institutions such as BDEM Institute to characterize India's democracy as an electoral autocracy. What does it mean? Electoral autocracy, we have got for the first time. It means autocrat means a dictator, a despot, an electoral autocracy. You come to power based on elections, but you behave like a dictator, the government. Then we say electoral autocracy, an important expression. Worse, bad, worse, worst. Here, worse, the use of the Draconian Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. There's an important word here, draconian. Draconian means very severe. It goes with laws, government actions, and they are extremely severe. Then we say draconian law, draconian government, such as the protesters who threw canisters and raised slogans in parliament last week. It talks about worse, the use of the draconian Unlawful Activities Prevention Act to indiscriminately target dissenters. Dissent means to show opposition or to oppose within a party, within the government, a particular group opposes, then we say dissent. That is known as dissent. And the people, the persons, dissenters. This act to indiscriminately, without thinking properly, at random, target dissenters, such as the protesters who threw canisters. Canister means what? A firm container, usually made of metal or plastic now, and often round or cylindrical shaped for holding food or chemicals. That is the actual purpose. But they have used it to generate smoke and raised slogans in parliament last week. Slogan, when you want to protest, you say something. That is known as a slogan. Has also fallen into the recent pattern of a deliberate equation of dissent with terror. Into the recent pattern. What is that pattern? Dissent is considered or equated with terror. In a democratic country, everyone has a right to protest, but a pattern of a deliberate equation of dissent with terror. Editorial opines that is not a good thing. Again, based on that, again, this has led the US based Freedom House that measures civil and political liberties to declare India as partially free. We say India is a democratic country. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. But because now they are not being allowed to protest, based on that, based on all this, there's one international organization, US based Freedom House. What is the objective? What is the function? It measures civil and political liberties. It has taken the stand, it has declared India as partially free, not completely free. And how does the editorial end? The recent actions by the government only contribute further to the backsliding. Main idea is being reiterated, backsliding of democracy in India, going back to old habits, usually negative, making these developments a matter of serious concern. Because of the backsliding, obviously these developments they come under a matter of serious concern. Now, very good. I appreciate all those they have written so many words and also so many aspects related to grammar. That's wonderful. That's all about this editorial. Not easy to comprehend. I would like to say again, an editorial like this you have to read twice, thrice, and you got to be a little careful. Based on the words, I'll start the old pattern. Tomorrow, I'll bring the words from today's editorial. The last slide, you have to recollect and answer. Write the meanings. Let us go to questions based on comprehension skill to enrich your comprehension skill or check your comprehension skill. What is the main concern raised in the editorial? Economic instability, unemployment, security breaches, legislative decline. Answer is D. How many opposition members of parliament were suspended on Monday, according to the editorial? On Monday. Here you have to look at the word, the expression on Monday. D. What is D? 94. No, no, no. That is not the answer. How many opposition members of parliament were suspended on Monday? I think the answer is 14. Earlier 78, then on Monday 14, or earlier 14, Monday 78. It should be either one or two. Certainly not. The question is not about the total number. Question is about how many were suspended on Monday. It talks about there are two sentences. One, first some members were suspended. On Monday, some more. Total number, it comes to 14. Okay. According to the editorial, what is the hallmark of a functioning democracy? Hallmark of functioning democracy. What is a typical feature or characteristic feature that goes with democracy? Answer this question. No one has answered question number three. Unilateral decision making that is not democratic. Deliberation and debate. Two words have been used repeatedly. Deliberation, debate. And security measures, no way. Opposition suppression, no. Answer is a B. Which legislative act is mentioned in the editorial as being used to target dissenters? They want to target the dissenters and a particular act is being used. Which one is that? Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, National Security Act, Public Safety Act, Sedition Act. The act has been mentioned in the editorial, so not difficult to answer. Question number four. Answer is the first one. What is the first one here? Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Very good. What term is used by research institutions to characterize India's democracy in the editorial? To put a label, to give a tag to India's democracy by international institutions, what is a tag given? What is the name given? What is the label given? 78 members on Monday, sir. Who is that? Anusha. Thanks for confirming, Anusha. Question number five, what is the answer? Yes, Ashwin, thank you very much. Anusha has just confirmed, even you are confirming. Thank you very much. The one particular term has been used. It is not democratic utopia. Means what? An ideal situation where no everyone is equal at the same level. That does not happen, impossible. Electoral autocracy, clearly mentioned. Authoritarian rule, totalitarian regime. They go with autocrats, despots, and dictators. But here, elected government behaves like a dictator or an autocrat. Then they have given based on that they've given the label electoral autocracy. That's all for today. And tomorrow, please work on the words you have got today. The last slide tomorrow going to be words and meanings from today's editorial for consolidation. And someone asked about mock test. Today, no mock test because it took a lot of time to get the problem fixed. I thought better to go with the Hindu editorial because it's a regular feature. Mock test a little off their track. And from tomorrow, you will have both. You will have the mock test, you will have the editorial analysis. Because of the technical issue, I could not take yesterday, but now I got it fixed. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Do remember to subscribe and share. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. Yes, Suresh, I will do it. I will do it. Sir, how to deal with idioms and phrases for unknown in CGL? Pandu, I will answer this tomorrow. Provide from tomorrow, I will get idioms and phrasal verbs also. Yes, Anusha and Suresh, from tomorrow I will provide. If possible, I'll provide today after the session. I have a very tight schedule. That is a problem. I will do that. Today I will squeeze in some time. I will squeeze in some time means I will create some time. I will provide the PDF. Thank you very much. That I cannot tell Varaprasad.